Booth, new shoes.
Yes, the shoes.
In the last 12 months, specifically in the area of AI, machine learning. It's a word that's obviously being said hundreds of times on the show floor, but all in different ways. No two people really mean the same thing. I feel like they think they all mean the same thing
Yeah.
when they say it, but maybe not necessarily. When you think through AI and its implications, how do you give us a broad definition for how you approach AI?
Ooh,
Let's
so
start with the easy one.
it's AI is both exciting and scary, like all at the same time, right? So when we think about the capabilities of what machines can do, that evolution, right, that's come about, we're on the cusp of, being able to do and think through and work through things in a snap of a finger. And so what's really come about is a really exciting evolution of the internet age, if you will,
Yeah.
right? Taking us to the next level and really helping people to think through things differently or use new resources now to be more efficient and maybe at the end of the day, give you a better work-life balance as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said the new age of the internet, and you see things like Perplexity or Search GPT come even into the equation of how people are finding resources on the
Yeah.
internet, right? And we're starting to see, the source medium of ChatGPT. They put that on other links, and we're starting to see that in marketing efforts, no matter what. My question for you actually is, how are you? You're a CRO, you're leading sales teams, you're figuring out how to use this, and not just the machine of Lotlinx, but how are you on a day-to-day basis leveraging AI, and that maybe someone else could say, oh, that's an interesting thing that I didn't think about how to leverage
Yeah,
it.
and so it's funny you ask that because being a tech company and selling AI, right? It would
Yeah.
be terrible if we weren't using it ourselves, right, to help us too.
Absolutely.
So I think one of the biggest components that we've come about this, we've come across this year is helping our go-to-market teams. So, for example, we have a hub, a sales engine, if you will, out in Arizona that are our SDRs, right? They're calling on dealers, trying to help us with our footprint, make meetings, and so on. And it's very difficult, especially for a dealer who gets, I don't know how many, 8 or 9 sales or vendor calls per day
Sure.
that they need to weed through. So how do you stand out, right? How do you make that person say, this is someone I feel like I need to give my time? And so we're using AI internally right now, not only to help us build our messaging, but pull from our insights that can speak directly to the specificity of that dealer. So be on a one-to-one level
Yeah.
and a little bit more personal. But even find out common interests or things that would pique their interest, or maybe a pain point that's happening at their dealership today that we know we can solve for. So that's how we're using it today.
But that's huge because every dealer has a BDC
Yep.
that's working to help set appointments, that's leveraging the data within the CRM. I mean, literally the same exact interaction. So it's not just about how you go to market or look at your data and insights, but I think a lot of times when people think about AI, they kind of lock it to one thing that they've heard about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's chat. Oh, it's marketing. Oh, it's data insights. But no, it's leveraging it across all of those. And the more you get familiar with use cases, the more the other ones, it's easier to kind of plug those into their place.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking about now communicating this into the dealer to say no, this is how we're leveraging it, how do you break down the barriers of education or knowledge gap into what AI, what machine learning within data is to a dealer that may not be as familiar with it?
Yeah, and I think that that's the big component, right, is the X factor, right? So we all fear the stuff that we don't know or we think we don't understand fully, kind of shy away from it a little bit. So I think it's really about having conversations and breaking it down to its simplest forms, right? So to make it less scary, maybe showing someone how the insights can be A, easy to find, and B, really helpful. And once, like anything, right? You start getting your hands in and you get comfortable with it, it becomes easier and easier. I remember my first time on ChatGPT and I was intimidated as hell,
You're
right?
Write me a poem.
And
Yeah.
now literally, my daughter will ask me about a project for school and I'm like, oh, okay, what do you need to know?
I can handle that.
Right on
Yeah.
ChatGPT and boom, there you go. And that that duplication of that methodology is exactly what we're inserting into the auto industry right now. Come on, guys. I mean, this is next level stuff.
It
I
is.
like how you just
I love how
said,
you got excited.
I know. I like how you said the simplicity of it. I was talking about like there's like this lowest common denominator you have to achieve, if you're going to bring the majority of people along.
Yep.
And as I understand it, you're building this AI that has a name, Lex.
Lex.
Right? Tell me about Lex.
Yeah. So she's being beta tested right now, right? And we're so excited about this app. So what this will do is allow dealers to have an app on their phone that will give them insights on what's going on in their market, right? So who is shopping, where they're coming from, like what demographics are they coming from, but also who else are they shopping? Who else are they looking at in the market? Also, your price to market, right? So that's one of the big factors right now is how do I know where my audience is and what they are looking for? Do I have what my market wants, right? And do I have it at a competitive price? And do I have it in stock, right? And so it gives you those insights as well. But then it also gives you actionable items, like how to take action on what it finds at your fingertips. So 4 really quick screens to just allow you to navigate through that and make better decisions about your vehicles. So if it tells you that I don't know, Camaro has been sitting on your lot for 30 days and you're ready to like deep six this thing or take it to auction, and you can discover through the app that there are 5 buyers out there that are looking for that exact make, model, color, trim, what do?
It's like a superpower.
You hang on to it, right?
Yeah,
you make sure it's priced right, and then you make sure you advertise the heck out of it so that that audience can find your car. And so these are some of the things that we can do now that human hours could take weeks, months, or maybe not be possible
There's just
at
too
all.
many inputs to ingest.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't be able to make sense of it.
Absolutely.
Why is it called Lex?
Well,
Because that was her favorite character.
well, so we are Lotlinx,
Okay.
and the data that it's built off of is called Lexica, right? So that's our new generative AI platform, and so Lex is her nickname.
I like it. That's good. That's good.
And
I
this-
love a good branding.
I know,
Right?
no,
Like,
it's-
I'm like,
it's clever.
what's the icon for Lex? What's she sound
clever.
I'm like trying to get there.
I think you're like a CRO that dabbles in CMO. That's how I feel.
Well, we're lucky that we're joined at the hip, Suzanne and I.
Very
So.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like good sales and marketing teams should be.
That's how they all should be. This platform is developed app first.
Yes.
Is it available on desktop or only on app?
Not yet, but it will be.
I like that it's app first. It makes sense. Back
does.
to
It
the
makes a ton of sense.
back to the simplest, execution designed to be able to make sense of on a phone-sized screen and be able to deploy.
At your fingertips in a snap. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, you've been with Lotlinx now how long again?
Only
It was-
2 years.
It was 2
we were
years,
just
right?
Getting going.
All right, so last year it was kind of like NAD, you were trying to feel it out still. What's it like second year? You getting your hands dirty and things. What's the vibe then?
Yeah, so this it's really cool. I mean, look at our booth, right? And for me personally, this is my 8th NADA.
Yeah.
So I've been around the block a little bit, but I tell you what's really exciting is when you've got an amazing product that you're really excited to showcase, and you've got a beautiful house in which to do it in. I love New Orleans. I'm so glad that we were able to make it here. I know that a lot of folks went through hell and high water to get here,
that's
right?
right.
And we were a little worried, not only for ourselves being here, but also for our dealer partners. And boy, I tell you, those doors opened up. We've had so many of our pre-booked appointments already come in and show and bring other partners, and we think that those are really serious about figuring out how to make changes at their dealership today or here. They are in the house. And I'm really, really encouraged by that. And I take that seriously. We want to make sure that we are precious with each and every customer we talk to today.
Let me ask you this. We were talking with Suzanne about how there's a contingent of dealers who, because they feel like it's so complicated, that they're not even dipping a toe in the water. And we were just discussing on how they're likely to be left behind very quickly. What would you say to those dealers who are saying like, oh, you know what, I'm going to keep selling cars. I'm not going to worry about all this. I'll let them figure it out. What would you say to them?
I think that that's a dangerous proposition, right? So whether you're comfortable or whether you think you fully understand it or not, we're open to all your questions. There are no silly questions. But I think that not embarking or dabbling or at least digging in to see what's out there, you're going to wind up being left behind.
Yeah.
If you think about the internet, right, and what the internet did to the auto industry, back then, and I was a BDC manager when the internet first came about, and we were all like, what do we do with this
Right.
thing? But that evolution, if you will, allowed customers to find your dealership, right? It gave them better buying resources. And eventually, it became the norm.
And
It's
the
the norm
primary
now.
way, right?
Absolutely. To where now, most searches are all done online before anyone
Right.
walks into a dealership. So it kind of shifted that whole mentality of how folks bought cars. Imagine if you weren't able to take internet leads today. Where would you be?
It's called out of
right?
business.
And so now AI is the transformation of that evolution. But what this allows dealers to do is for them to find their audience, for them to be smarter about making sure the right product is in front of the right people at the right time. So not taking hold of AI and taking stock of it, what it can do for you, can really, really put you in a detrimental place.
Yeah, I think the technology today emphasizes a decentralized knowledge share, right? It says we can now hand the knowledge share, the insights back to someone
Yes.
because we know so much about it and we have the leverage to feed it back.
Gives you better control.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Carla, you're always just a ball of fire, and I love your passion for what you're doing here. Lotlinx is obviously having a bunch of fun, and if people didn't, get to meet you here at the show, they should definitely reach out.
Come on down.
Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting with you guys, and I'm glad we all made it here safely.
Absolutely.
Let's have a great show.
Let's do it.
Thank you.